Hello viewers, welcome to Express Politics on TVRC. I am Oyedokun Adedoyin Samuel. Joining me in the studio today is Comrade Oluloro Damilare Emmanuel, aka Aluta Melody. You're welcome.
Thank you.
He is Secretary General of the Students' Union Government, Polytechnic of Ibadan. And today we shall be discussing the role of students in nation building 2023 election in perspective. So, are you ready for election 2023?
Very much ready.
Do you have your PVC?
Yes.
Well, that's good. As General Secretary of Student Union Government body, have you been able to sensitize your colleagues?
As an individual, I've been doing that, but as a body, as a union, we are yet to do that.
Okay, so what have you been putting in place to do that as a student union?
Well, the thing is that I believe it should be part of our project before we hand over in office.
Okay, well, that's good. Can you give me the voting population of your school?
Well, let me say 60%.
60%. And do you mean that those 60% they have their PVC?
Well, I can't say, let me say 50 of the 60%. I believe 50 of the 60% should have the PVC.
Okay. Is there any program put in place for the rest?
Actually, the SC to Sheyi Makinde on Student Affairs, he has actually organized a program for that. Free PVC registration for all institutions in our states.
Okay, well, that's a very good move from your state government. Okay, these questions. Do you believe that students can change bad government? You know, back in 2015, time you reach prospects, we have this kind of relation going from one campus to another, campaigning for change, and people are clamoring for change, especially students. We are clamoring for change. So, and that change we have seen where it landed us right now. But do you believe that students can change bad government, especially in this country?
Yeah, students can change bad government if we can change our motive.
If we can change our motive, wow.
Yes, and our mindset.
Our mindset in the can you explain that?
Our mindset is that we don't have a place in deciding the person that will become the president. Even in every vote, in every election, we don't believe our vote counts. So if we can change this, our mindset and our motive that our vote actually counts, if we can come outside to vote, we can change bad government.
Okay, that will lead to the next questions. You know, why you are contesting and all the student union government, when you are campaigning, you know, you go to hostels, you go to campus, you campaign. You know, at the day of election, few will come and some will not come, even though those people that have campaigned for. Now, you know, that is voters' apathy. What do you think can cause voters' apathy, even among students in 2020 election?
Okay, thank you for the question. Like my institution as a case study, some of the students will surely tell us that you know the person that you want them to become the president, the general secretary of the students, you know, even the department association, that you know them already. So they don't think they should be wasting their precious time in coming outside to vote because you people know it already. So I think the main reason why there is political vote appetite because they think that they know the people that want to become the next president, general secretary, and the
so even before election, right?
Yes, exactly. Before election.
That's the use of cabals, right? Well, okay.
And trains, you know, they are trains.
Wow. Trains. You can see that is where we have voters' apathy begin from an institution, from school rather, so from students. So exactly. We have that. So do you think students are being used for political category for green in Nigeria?
Yeah, I would say students are being used because though they categorize it on the youth, but who are these youth that we are talking about? Students. Because when we have to look at on the range of 1 to 10, the percentage of students among youth is 8. Is 8. Those people that are claiming they are youth, they are maybe like people that doesn't even go to schools and they're even up to 40, but they're still claiming youth because they still have some energy.
Youth at 40.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So since we have these students, since we have students that politicians are using as subject, what do you think is the way, or what are you doing to curb this kind of acts?
Well, what we have been doing so far is letting the students know that their vote is their power. Sensitizing the students on perspective that no one should use them. Go for the candidate, go for the person you know that can do it. You know, we have our different reasons for choosing a candidate. This is the candidate you know can do it. Go for the person. Instead of allowing politicians to use you as story. Even if your candidate eventually didn't emerge, you will know that you actually voted for the person you think can do it.
Okay, all right, thank you very much on that. So, you know, it's quite some months right now that ASU, they have been on strike and some universities they are on strike. So what's your take on that, on ASU strike?
This ASU strike is a no-go area for me because even recently, NAS themselves, they dropped something online that you can only force a horse to deliver.
Well, you
cannot force him to drink water. They have protested, do every sort of things to the federal government and to the ASU itself to end this strike. But still yet, they didn't. I don't know the fate of the students in this country again.
Okay, that's good. Okay, concerning that, let's digress a little bit. Do students' union governments, you know, student union government of Polytechnic of Ibadan, and we have other student union governments in other institutions. Do you have an allied
yes, there is a body that actually combines everyone together, and that is the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS. So we have NANS in different divisions. We have NANS JCC Oyo State, we have NANS JCC Ogun State, you know, in different states, and we have the NANS national body. So they all come together to meet and discuss about the betterment of Nigerian students. Okay, now let's go to the root of today's program. What do you think is the role of students in nation building? Well, the future of any country depends upon its students. Name and fame of a country, it rests on the educated youth. In other words, the students are the real treasure of any country. They are more important for a country. They are the real treasure. They are the real treasure. It is only if this country, these are our leaders, if they can only detect this treasure in students. That is even when the sweat of students, because it is another thing to try to, you know, to change this country. When we are talking about the nation building, it's another thing for students to try in building this nation. It's another thing for their efforts to be able to reflect. Like this, coming out to choose a leader, the person that is going to lead us in this country. You know, when students comes out and the votes are not being counted, even students coming out to vote, it is part of our rules when it comes to nation building. Okay. If the energy of the students is directed to constructive purpose, the whole country, the whole aspect of this country will taste all-round development. Like a great man once said, he said, "Give me the children and I will change the nation." The Nigerian students, they have major roles to play if only our leaders can detect that. Wow, that's nice. Well, thank you once again. So what's your advice to students in populace? Well, my own advice to the Nigerian student outside here is that we shouldn't live on the olden days mindset. Let's change this mindset. We can change bad government in this country. We can change Nigeria. Let's come out, come 2023, to vote for our own candidates. Thank you very much, comrade. That's where we draw the curtain for today. We know that we will invite you once again next time. I know that you will surely come. So that's where we draw the curtain today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.